Alright, guys, welcome back to a community for all of us. I am your host, Derek. Nick is laying down right now, and we have Karen. Tonight we have the wonderful thing. We're kind of doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing reviews tonight, and we're actually reacting to different videos. That's just since this weekend is coming up, it's going to be Halloween. And so, with that, how are y'all doing? Hope y'all are doing well.
I'm here.
We're doing good.
That's good. That's good. So, yeah, I had a show this weekend. We were not able to go, so I'm hoping it went well for you.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Got
So, you got anything you want to show?
yes, sir. I got two new figures here, both Fortnite figures.
Oh, yeah, there's Doggy or Doggo, I think it is.
hmm
And let's see what's the name?
Supersonic.
Super Sonic. Okay.
I like the doggo creature. I like it came with that little vehicle too.
hmm Thank you.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And you want to show something else that you got with your phone, didn't you?
Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. I got this case and I decided to decorate it. And so it's a clear through, but the cat ears is new to me. And I don't know, I just thought I'd show it off. I think I did a good job on the background.
It
That's all I got
does
to show off
have,
today. So
but that's with, you can switch out with me, right? Like that would work.
what now?
You can, change out the work, right?
I don't
That
know. I'm
work.
having a hard time hearing you.
I hate that my mic's doing that. The backing, you have the flowers, and then
Yeah,
it can change.
it's a separate. So I printed off this picture with dandelions on it and then I have some stickers. They actually turned out really good. I was more happy that I had something that I could like redecorate every time I decided I was bored with this. And I don't usually rebuy another case, but mine actually broke this time. So, but I was like, you know what? I've seen somebody do this before. And I was like, you know what? So my first one's going to be like this, but I'm probably going to draw some other things to put on it. But I just had to trace around it, make sure my camera had a hole, and then got it where it would fit just inside, and then just lift it again. So that's what I have to show today. I didn't have any new toys, so
You wouldn't have either had, Chomper not decided to go and chomp up some sugar off what you wasn't going to do. I was going to take these to resell them. Chomper decided to get hold of one of the boxes and took out the plastic covering for it.
Mm.
And when that happened, it was actually one of my favorite out of the book. This makes Devastator, but this was Conqueror, and I was like, well, I like the character. I could replace him. Then I looked it up and I was like, nope, I can't replace him. It's way too much. So he was like, well, go ahead and open him up. And when we did, and I was like, wow, this is actually a really good figure. So we have the other ones. And I'll be doing reviews on the channel. We have the other ones that you can see online. They're actually all the same color because they make Devastator. And all there's I think one or two that we're going to look at getting. But I was very surprised. Well, these guys were. Hasbro's been not knocking it out of the park, and yeah, with these, we were like, man, they're heavy, that's good. We've had them for a little bit, so we know that they're not going to yellow or anything like that. So, so does anybody have plans for this weekend? the thing it is, your mom and dad's gonna take us to the beach. They said. So that's the
Yeah,
one
well,
that we're gonna do.
they may come for a couple of days, or we may go down for a couple of days. It's kind of in the air right now, and so I'm not even sure when you and me are gonna leave. It's gonna have to depend on our health. And we might have to leave separate from them because they don't like to drive at night. But we may have to leave at night because depending on, we don't wake up very well. So that's a little bit iffy. We'll see what happens.
It would be nice to leave and go to the beach. 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time we went might have been the summer of 2023. So yeah, that'd be about 2 or 3 years. We usually go down in the fall, but I don't know if I don't think we've done that for a while.
No,
Even
we always
September
used
was
to look
still
at,
summer weather.
and we used to go when it was your birthday, and that was usually we
Yeah.
would go for the weekend.
Mhm.
Nikki's grandfather actually had bought the beach land and made a built a beach house. And it'll make you sick because they only pay $43 for the whole thing. For all the land and also the cost of lumber that he built the beach house. Everybody around here thinks it's crazy. Saying why is he buying sand? But that's something. Yeah. Anybody getting ready to have trick or treaters or doing trunk or treat or doing anything like that? Has anybody done that yet? I don't think our church around here has done it yet.
We
Yeah,
had the we had the trunk or treat at our church. My wife went from and left me at the show and went there and did that while I stayed and tried to finish the show up and make a little bit of money.
that's been, it was a 1 day show. We weren't able to make it because Nikki was having issues with her kidneys, and we couldn't.
Well, it ended up being a 2 day show apparently. So
Oh,
yeah, so
Okay. It was, yeah, it wasn't 1 day, and it was also Saturday and Sunday.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Although Sunday was slow as molasses in January.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a 2 day show.
I don't think I
Maybe
knew that either.
Well, he didn't advertise it as one, but then he said, "Heck, we're just paying for the weekend anyway, so why not?"
Okay. All right.
So
Well, that's one way to do it then. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, we definitely wouldn't be able to do a 2 day show.
No, we wouldn't be able to today at all.
yeah, a lot of them already went ahead and left. So there was like mostly us local guys there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so then that would be you'd have to look at getting far away, looking at getting a hotel or driving back and forth to get there.
mhm.
Very cool. Okay. Sunday ended up being very slow. Right? So we have some things we're going to read. So I'm going to go ahead and read the lights. I'm going to. I got things from TikTok and let's see here. First one, let's see if I can get this one. I'm gonna try and test out the thing on TikTok to see if I can get them to work. Here and funny, we actually have rain and thunder right now. So hopefully they answer that well. Right. So I think the first one I want to do is the janitor that is going has this room that
Right.
let's see if we can make. First, I don't think there's any sounds. Yeah.
I can't tell what it says. Oh,
Ginger
Just
captures
I don't know,
paranormal
let you guys know
activity, it
this school is
says.
built on a cemetery. I don't know if that helps my situation or not, but previous janitors that have worked here have tried to tell everyone that, you know, every night something happens, some spooky shit. I don't know, paranormal or whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I didn't really believe them until tonight. I was in here cleaning up after some students had thrown a party, but what's been freaking me out is this one right here. No matter where I'm at in the classroom or what I decide to do, it just follows me. And do your thing, you stupid balloon. I got you on camera now, so let's just see
Better watch out. It's
that
gonna
right
be
there.
it from the Stephen
Mhm.
King.
that's what I was thinking. Pennywise.
Yeah.
Just
Well, those balloons are in there.
ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Is it
following them.
following?
See, no.
It only wants to do is clean up the school, but you know,
It just follows me no matter what.
That is kind of creepy.
Ooh,
Because at first
no,
I would
I
think it would
can't.
be air conditioning,
You guys.
but it's not following a path per se.
All right.
Did it loop over, or is it another part of the same video?
right,
Um,
looped over. Okay. So that
just
is
I don't know, let you guys know
him
this school
going
is built
in
on
Oh,
a
okay,
there.
it
cemetery.
looped.
I don't know if that helps my situation or not, but
So for those that can't read, over on the other side, if you'll go back, I'll read to you what it said about that, because there's a
you
little
guys.
bit more to it. It says, janitor at Florida King High School captured strange paranormal activity from a balloon moving on its own to
All
a
right.
shadow, and then it has more after that. But I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this one. I don't know if I'd have to see a little bit more
Um,
clues and
just so I don't
stuff
know, let you guys
happening.
know this school is built on a cemetery. I don't know if that helps my situation or not, but previous janitors that have worked here have tried to tell everyone that, you know, every night something happens, some spooky shit. I don't know, paranormal or whatever you want to call it, but
Okay.
yeah, I didn't really believe them until tonight.
I have the
I
balloon
was in
down.
here clean.
I really don't think I'm ever gonna get
Here is
this.
another person.
Listen to me.
Oh,
Listen
and I'm
to
thinking
that.
this one here may be like a mimic.
Jesus. I mean, this is my whole closet right here. It's my kitchen.
If they don't put the captions on.
Okay, so it seems to be wanting to happen now more in the afternoon, but just to prove that there's nothing there. Jesus Christ.
They put a camera inside of it.
I am finally back to my apartment after the door opened from the Wise Cam, and people were wondering if the door stayed open or not. So we're gonna unlock the door without waking up any more neighbors. And we're gonna see. It was still open. All right. Well, that's interesting. That stayed open that whole time. This is the cord in question, the coax cable, and you can see here it goes directly from here down to my Wi-Fi. So I could, I guess, open it like this, but one, I would probably be in the way of the camera here since I'm standing here, but let's try and test this. Here's the door latched all the way shut. I mean, I'm pulling on that pretty hard and it doesn't come out. But if I were to do this and open it, that just kind of pulls the Wi-Fi back. So, I mean, if this cord was the thing that was pulling it, this probably would have knocked off. But, I don't know.
I can see what difference they think they made in the store.
Oh.
What's banking?
You gotta be fucking kidding me. And here we go with this shit again.
Is it just making noise?
See how long
It's here like here's a sound of banking.
Stop!
I like that come down. There we go. I'll turn it on.
Okay, that works. I really don't think I'm ever gonna get loose with this shit. Listen to it. Listen to that pounding. Jesus. I mean, this is my whole closet right here.
It sounds like somebody's slamming a door, but there's no door to be seen.
Okay, so it seems to be wanting to happen now more in the afternoon, but just to prove that there's nothing there. Jesus Christ.
Oh my
And then
God,
we have
You
this.
need to start praying.
The ghost of a
That's
man
true.
wearing a black hat is seen just crossing the very road right here. Let me know, do you believe in haunted roads? Have you ever been on a haunted road? Oh my God, everyone, look right here. The ghost of a man wearing a black hat is seen just crossing the very road right here. Let me know, do you believe in haunted roads? Have you ever been on?
Here's the lady that's their baby, they said. And the toy things moving them. That toilet walking. That toilet was nasty. That toilet was scary looking. Well, Casper had diarrhea. Oh, yes. As we're seeing this, has anyone had an experience that they will share? If they've ever had an experience? Oh, it's there we go. That goes. That does something.
Hey guys, I was just doing laundry and I was walking out of the laundry room going up the stairs and I was hearing something.
I got some more videos for us. We'll stop this and take it down for a second.
Now that is kind of creepy.
And that,
That
right?
last
You
one.
see something moving,
Yeah.
and I'll make sure
I'll
that.
let Hold on for a second. I don't know if you could see it, Harold, but what was happening is as the mom was holding her baby and watching the TV, there was a toy that was set down on the floor, and the toy was moving. The dangly part was be like I don't know, something to entertain the baby was moving on its own, and it was being held up. I didn't know if you could see that. Okay.
We're gonna make
Yeah,
it bigger.
I didn't know what was going on, but yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we're gonna make it bigger for him. So Let me go to this one. This might be bigger scene. We go here. There. Okay. We have that. All right. So this is here on YouTube. How is that bigger? I know it's a black screen. Is that bigger? Because I can't see on.
Right now it's just a black screen, but
Yeah, but
Had been
oh, okay, yeah,
exploring
that
what
should be
his
better.
client claimed could possibly be one of the most haunted houses in the area when something strange made him start recording. He explained that just moments before filming, a plant in the corner had shifted on its own and the chandelier above him had started to sway.
Okay, TikTok. I'm in another fucking haunted house, I swear. This plant just moved and the chandelier. My client went out to town, elderly guy, but he's here alone, but he has a lot of these artifacts here. I don't think I have attachment or anything. But yeah. Whoa, what the hell? This is what I'm talking about. You guys heard that?
As he continues talking to the camera, a loud sound of a door slamming closed can be heard somewhere deeper in the house, more than likely upstairs. David looks around, while behind him the chandelier begins to swing again, more noticeably this time. The movement is slow, deliberate, and eerily timed, with each sound coming from elsewhere in the house. He stands still for a few seconds, narrating the video, clearly unsure of what to do next. This investigation doesn't stop here though. This story will continue in a future video on my channel. Subscribe.
Okay, with that one there, I didn't hear anything. Did y'all hear
I
anything?
didn't either. No.
No.
I think I need a video with maybe a longer format because these videos, some of them were obviously moving and doing things without the person being there. But it's like I still don't have enough evidence to be able to say, yes, you definitely have something paranormal, or no, that's just the wind or whatever. So I don't, that last one, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. But supposedly these are some of the best ones on TikTok. Um, now I have a story. I'm sure what we're doing to the next one. When I was younger, the house that we lived in, um, was my biological father actually built the house, but Nikki knows a lot of the backstory there. I'm not going to go too much into it, but he had designed the house. Inside the house was a circle, and in the middle of the house was the fireplace. And one thing that I saw a lot that used to show up is what I used to call the Men in Black. To me, he looked like a Quaker. When I got older, seeing like westerns and people that looked like Quakers, or um, especially the guy, except he didn't have a face, you didn't never see his face. You only saw his bones, which are red. But you had there being the you have where he would show up, and my family, my mom and my biological father, they didn't ever agree on anything. But one time I saw him, and he came up to me, and I was in the kitchen. It was late at night. Typically, my dad would come home, my biological father would come home after working second, third shift, and I would wake up, go in there, and we would actually eat a snack together before he would come home at night. One night, I hear something. I get up thinking it's him, go out there to see him, but instead of going to the kitchen, I see our dining room, and the light is coming down into the wall. As I'm looking at the light and see a shadow move across, so I turn around thinking it's him, but they have the kind of lights on the end. And out of the shadows, this man that called the Man in Black comes out of the shadows wearing a wide, flat brown hat, completely black long jacket, He walks up to me, and the last thing I remember is he reaches out his hand to me. And when that happens, I wake up the next morning and I'm in bed between my mom and my father. And those two didn't like each other, period. But yet they both agree that they don't know how I got into their room because they had it locked from the inside. They both agree that there was things that happened there which we can go any further. He shared more as the thing is. But it's something I always was like that was evident for me. So they never agreed on anything. When we showed up in their room, they still could not explain that. We have comments here from last week now. But sometimes like he means figures will jump into the shed for no reason. And that's why would be super cool and then down in the show. They would tell all the stuff and be getting some tacky good. So have you ever had any type of paranormal story you would like to share?
Uh,
Um, I don't know. You have something, Harold?
I mean, I've had some experiences of my own, but I don't talk about them a whole lot with a lot of people.
That's okay.
I mean, that's just how I am.
That's
No,
fine. I was going to mention mine. I didn't. Well, I've had some experiences. There's stuff that I didn't necessarily remember until when I first met Derek. He had cancer? We had met at a cancer camp, and he told me some of the stories that he just told right now. And I've always been the type of person that I believe you unless something happens where I'm not going to believe you. So you tell me that your long lost cat came back to see you and like he's been passed for like 5 years and you can he would whisper or purr in your ear or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I understand, because I think people decide not to believe people without any frame of reference. Does that make sense? Like, and
Hmm.
I believe in trusting people ultimately with whatever you tell me until you give me a reason to not trust you. I don't think enough people trust people nowadays, but so whenever Derek would tell me about the things that happened, I was like, oh, okay, that sounds great. I personally didn't think about those things happening until I got married to Derek and we started talking about things, and then I remembered something from my past that I totally had blocked out. Um, I was at home, had to be 6 years old because my grandfather passed about that age. And I remember being in my bedroom and my grandpa appearing before me. And I got scared and I was like, oh no. And I ran out of my room to my mom. I want to say it was late at night. It could have been bedtime though, but I think it was later because I ran to mom. I was like, "Mom, mom, mom! Grandpa came to see me." And in this situation, most moms would be like, "You're lying. You're making up stuff." But my mom was actually like, "Oh, you did? Well, what was he like?" He was like, "Well, he just like he was standing there." And she said, were you scared? I was like, yeah. She's like, well, just tell him. Just go back, and if he comes to you again, just say, Grandpa, I'm scared, and I love you, but I can't do this. And that's apparently what I did. So I didn't remember it until I was in my 20s, but something had jarred that memory from way back, and I was like, um, I don't know. It was very crazy, and that's my main one. And then, I guess I was uh around the same time, the 20s or whatever, and we had got uh the beach house had been booked up, so me and Derek ended up getting another place to go to stay, and it was off season, but we went down anyway, even though it was going to be cold that weekend. It was like cusp of like September, October, and I'd had nothing really happen to me since then. And we had gone to sleep, and I used to take this little battery operated alarm clock with me everywhere. And so that was sitting beside me when we would go to sleep. Well, all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, like we woke up, and because I heard a crash, and we were like, "What was that crash?" So we turned the lights on, and I was looking around, and I was like, "My alarm clock's not here. It's somewhere else." And we had heard the boom off in another room, so we get up to go look, and I had found my alarm clock smashed in the sink in the kitchen. And from where the bedroom was, it would be like right here. And you had to leave out the door, and then you had to go. It was on the other side of this bathroom. So this alarm clock had traveled probably 10,
14.
10 feet up into the room,
Yeah.
and then 20 feet out to the kitchen, and then back another 10 feet to get to where it landed. And I was done. I was like, I don't know. I don't care that we paid for the weekend. We're leaving tonight. And so I made Derek pack up. He's like, are you sure you
Yeah,
don't want to stay?
it's practice. Like, no, we're done. We're done.
I'm done. And I was like, we're packing our bags. And I started collecting everything up. And we left at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we went home. And I was like, I'm done. I can't do that. Nope, done.
That's when we were young. It's nothing, man. Back up and go. Think of like, nope. And you had that clock ever since you were in Poland. So,
No, yeah. That was the one. That's right. That was the one I brought back because I had bought one there that would
yeah.
work on alarms, so I could take it with me wherever I needed to put it or whatever. But yeah,
I'm not sure what the next one's gonna be. We'll see what it says. Part 4. Very good.
The following video begins with the sound of deep, uneasy breathing. A man is filming from his bed, phone trembling slightly in his hand. From downstairs, a woman's voice can be heard calling out the words, "Babe, come downstairs," over and over, each time sounding a little more impatient.
There's no way Emma decided. What the?
Did you hear anything?
yeah. Apparently, that's the one. The wife's voice. She's not there. That's one of those things they call a mimic. See, the wife's not in the house, but he hears the wife's voice.
Alexa, turn on all lights.
Apparently, that is more common than
Really?
not nowadays. Is that?
Thanks, Alexa.
Then, the sound of a door opening and closing echoes through the house. The man knows that nobody else should be home, and the clip abruptly switches to CCTV, footage from downstairs, showing a door near the hallway swinging open on its own before slowly shutting again. The woman's voice stops entirely after that, replaced by something much more chilling. A faint, mechanical tune that sounds like it's coming from a toy somewhere in the man's room. The camera shakes as he pans around trying to find the source, and the eerie dollhouse-like melody keeps looping, echoing through the silence. The man doesn't speak again after that, just films in disbelief as the sound continues until the video cuts, leaving viewers wondering if the voice that called him down was ever really human. The next clip from this story shows Ali's prayer mat, and he starts his explanation saying the story took place whilst he was praying. He explains in a low voice the eerie music from the night before. The same dollhouse-like tune has started again, coming from a small music box he keeps on his shelf.
Guys, I was just praying, and the music box just started playing by itself. Can you do that again? Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope.
The camera focuses on it as the melody begins to play on its own, no one touching it. The soft, mechanical tune echoes through the room, sending chills through the silence. Ali's breathing grows heavier, and he mutters a prayer under his breath before kneeling forward again. He films the music box continuing to play despite not being wounded. Once it finally stops, he prays 3.
One thing, I'm gonna pause it here. Do y'all realize what he's got right here on the shelf?
Oh, I
Can't
do.
see.
It's a Ouija
Yeah,
board.
No,
Yeah.
that explains a good bit.
Yeah, why? No, I mean, first of all, you're praying to Lord, but the second is that you have, to me, that's an invitation for demons to come into your house. I mean, that's the thing that just boggles the mind. It's like, hey, I'm gonna be scared about this stuff, but I'm gonna live on this board, which I found this out, which was kind of like something aggravates me, is that House actually owns and produces the Ouija board game.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so the toy company has and sells Ouija boards. But right there, that's just never mess with one of those things. They are not something you want to mess with.
I mean, it's essentially a communication with spirits, with the dead. You call out somebody's name, they're gonna answer, and you may not want to talk to the thing that responds back to you.
Exactly.
More times in succession, visibly shaken, but trying to stay composed. He later
Yes,
explains that whatever is in his home doesn't seem to want to leave, and that he's now considering bringing in someone spiritual to cleanse the place.
right. I was like, look, that thing that I never understood. Like,
In the next clip, we see a woman sitting at her desk, casually talking to the camera. Her tone is calm but clearly frustrated as she explains how she's been having strange problems lately with managing to get people to come to her shows, and she doesn't understand how. She is evidently confused with the situation, but little did she know that she was about to become far more confused from something else.
I just want to know how I can get people to come to our shows. How do we get people to come to our shows? No, I'm just trying to understand. Tell me it doesn't look like there's someone right here. There's not.
As she continues talking, behind her, in the doorway that seems to lead to a closet, something suddenly falls to the floor in a swift motion. The movement is quick and sharp. Cutting through the quiet room, she freezes mid-sentence, her eyes darting toward the sound, before slowly turning around in disbelief. From the camera's angle, it's clear the doorway is fully visible, meaning no one could have been inside or near it. After ending the clip, she gets up, cautiously walks to the closet, opens it wide, and finds nothing inside. Very spooky indeed.
I wish they had shown that shit what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
It begins with the
Harold,
sound of
even though-
frantic barking
pause it for a second
echoing
there.
through a quiet
I'll
house.
pause it
The
here.
camera switches.
Right now?
So Harold, in the last clip, even though you might not have seen it, she was regularly talking, and there was a door frame that was really off far in the background, and she pointed at it for a little bit, but it looked exactly like a cutout of a person there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't have any context, and it didn't move, and it didn't form a face or anything, but it did look really creepy that there was this form in the background that looked just like a head and shoulders silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like Michael Myers.
Did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Is on as the person behind the camera is very confused because they don't even own a dog. The barking seems to be coming from below, down near the basement.
Hello? Oh my god!
As they approach the staircase, the noise grows louder, mixed with the unsettling noise of the basement door, repeatedly opening and closing at the bottom. The person hesitates for a moment, panning the camera to their blue-haired friend behind them, before slowly making their way down. The sound of claws against the floor echoes up the steps, the barking sharp and desperate. When they reach the halfway point, something starts charging upward, heavy, rapid footsteps. But there's nothing visible. No animal, no figure, just the sound rushing past the camera. The person gasps and stumbles back up the stairs out of fear. What's most unsettling is how real the barking sounded, yet how completely invisible whatever made it was. Viewers have started calling it one of the clearest recordings of a ghost dog ever caught on camera. A few days later, the man's mother came over to visit, bringing her dog along. Wanting to prove what he'd been hearing, he decided to film again while she was upstairs. The clip begins with him standing halfway down the basement stairs, camera in hand, while the same unsettling noises echo from below. The sound of the basement door rattling and creaking is identical to before, as if whatever caused it had returned.
Sounds like somebody dropping one of those capsule toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or a golf ball.
Yeah, no thank you.
At the top of the stairs, his mother's dog stands frozen, staring down into the darkness, its ears pinned back and body tense. The man takes
Yeah,
a
that's
breath
a
and
good
walks down the
indication
remaining
that dog's
steps.
acting
He
like that.
flips on the basement light, revealing the quiet, still space below, except for one single door at the far end, the one that always seems to make the noise. As he gets closer, the air seems heavy, the only sound being the faint hum of the light above.
all right. Back out of this one. But yeah, there is.
Yeah, that last one was pretty creepy, especially when he went to go reach for the door handle and it got yanked open right when he got there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm trying to see the whole like history. Let's see. Um, Graveyard, you doing this crazy. Crazy. Oh, God. This thing. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull up the other video that I have up to.
That's fine.
That's it. But the thing is that I don't think anyone should be using Ouija boards or anything like that.
No.
That's just stupidity.
There was even that game a while back called Charlie Charlie that I think they were doing about 10 years ago. And I told my students, I said, and the same thing I said about the Ouija board, if you're calling out to something, something's going to answer. And you don't want to know what's going to answer you back. So,
Yes, exactly. Right, so we got another one for us. Let's see here. Do this. Okay. Sound on. Can y'all see it?
not yet.
I think I got it full. It's not telling me. And right on the actual YouTube thing.
Mineral Wells, a small city in Texas, is famous for its beautiful hiking trails and relaxing spas, but it's also known for the Hill House, one of the most haunted places in the country. Owned by Catherine and Sonny Estes, the Hill House is available for rent for those looking to experience the paranormal. The house is so notorious for its spooky happenings that it even inspired a TV show. Visitors often report seeing mysterious figures, hearing creepy voices, and watching objects move by themselves. These scary events are too much for many, causing them to leave in the middle of the night. In this video, a group of friends decides to stay at the Hill House to see if the rumors are true. They didn't expect what happened next to their friend Victoria.
As you can see, she was yanked off the bed. This was not a fall. And then they ran out. We're going to rewind that and we're going to show you in regular screen.
Wow.
Suddenly, something invisible pulls Victoria off the bed. Before this happened, she had been mocking and challenging the spirits in the Hill House. Freaked out by what happened, Victoria and her friends quickly run out of the room. But about an hour later, one of her friends, Andrew, goes back into the room. He starts taunting the spirits too, calling them cowards for attacking Victoria. Soon after, something creepy happens to him as well.
Did you see he got pushed?
Did you catch that watch again?
Oh, yeah.
Andrew is suddenly pushed by an unseen force, possibly the same one that dragged Victoria off the bed. He's so startled that he runs into his friends as they all try to escape. But that's not the end of it. As Andrew, Victoria, and another friend rush out of the room again, the cameras catch something really eerie. Right after they leave, the door closes by itself, as if the ghostly presence in the house wants to shut them out. If you look closely, you can even see the doorknob turning, as if something invisible is pulling it. The haunted Hill House has been checked out by several famous ghost hunters, including Jack Osborne from Fright Club, who said it was one of the scariest places he's ever been. But what do you think? Did this group of friends really come across a ghost at the notorious Hill House?
Yes, I
Scary
think they did.
encounters are even more unsettling when kids are involved, like in this video shared by Jay Barari. She recorded something quite creepy in her daughter's bedroom. Jay says weird things often happen in their home, which was built in the 1700s and has a history of many deaths on the property. Because of this, she believes her house is haunted. The video could be proof that her family is dealing with a haunting. One night, while monitoring a live feed from a security camera she installed in her daughter's room to catch these odd events, she saw her daughter staring at something unseen in the dark. Here's what she captured.
Honey, what's going on? Baby, come here. Come here, come here. Come here. What's up, baby? Come here. What's going on?
Y'all hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Something in the dark seems to be grabbing her daughter's attention, and it looks terrifying based on how scared she seems. What's even more eerie is that her daughter keeps staring at it, even as her mother carries her away. Since this happened, Jay Barari has been too frightened to sleep, but this isn't the first time she's seen something strange. A few months back, she recorded something even creepier. Once, while home alone, Jay checked the live feed from a security camera outside her house and saw the following.
Yeah, there's only one of those things moving. If it was the wind, all of them would be moving. What is it about ghosts and swings?
It has to deal with
Out
the
of the
fact
3
that
swings, only one is moving on its own, which is puzzling. If it were
it's something that I learned after living in the house I lived in, as I did become a paranormal researcher for a while, and so I was thinking ghosts are ghosts and they're people. I later learned to find out they're not. They're tricksters, mimics. Um, all of them have a evil intent, and so the reason why is they're trying to gain the trust of either the child or the parents to think that it's a child's ghost that they're dealing with, and all that is trying to make it where you open yourself up and say, "Oh, I feel so sorry for it." A lot of cases I dealt with that taught me early on that there was no such thing as a child ghost. A lot of people that we ended up helping and doing stuff. That was the thing that was a common factor. Um, it gained their trust by making them think that it was a child spirit. And the more I started doing research, I started putting these stories together. I learned that there's no such thing as children's spirits. Those are usually a mimic, all very much demonic in nature. Um, the Bible talks about the spirit lingering over for 3 days, and then it moves on. And Jesus actually mentions this when he talks about Lazarus. He says, "I'm glad that it's been 4 days." And the Jewish tradition is that uh, the dwelling time of people crying, but also was believed that the spirit would be able to linger around for 3 days. Then after that, it would have to move on. And when Jesus talks about Lazarus, I'm glad that I was not here during that time, not for myself, but for the glory of God, so that you would know I'm bringing back Lazarus from the dead. And the Jewish belief is that that was an impossible thing to do because you would be taking the spirit um, out of Abraham's bosom, and that was something that they didn't believe was possible. So when you start to see that and that in the scripture and stuff, you start to realize then children aren't going to be allowed to linger around with forever. Now there are things I do believe will leave an echo. Will it will like a it's like a video length, like we're watching TikTok and then it starts back over. There are things that can and I don't and they're not intelligent, so it's just like they won't interact with you. It's just like a loop, like nature itself. And usually ghost rock, what's also known as quartz, is in those areas. There's a lot of it, and then it's that can actually and scientifically it's been proven that they can actually catch frequencies and retain it. So I think that's like at Gettysburg and stuff like that. When you're seeing those things, you're just seeing a loop of history replaying like a movie room. But if it interacts with you, then it's not. It's very demonic. It's in nature. That's one thing that I have learned and found out dealing with the journalism.
I think they've also said that things like that happen sometimes near rivers and places that have lots of quartz, because quartz has been known to capture things. because I think quartz is actually one of the elements they put into like computers and like data disk and stuff to store things on. At that point, you can get into the crystal skulls and the fact that they supposedly can store like vast amounts of information inside those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Due to a strong wind, you'd expect all the swings to be moving. This is definitely strange, but not as bizarre as another video she took weeks earlier. In that video, Jay Barari was walking through the woods in her backyard when she stumbled upon something very unusual. Here's what she found.
So the bridge is also destroyed, and I came out here because I don't know if you can see that, but it says Mike. I think 43 to 54. I always assumed it was a dog named Mike, and there's other little stones along the path, but I can't get through there. So I don't really know what to do at this point, but wanted to show you guys something else. So this is the statue that's head got cut off, and wasn't really happy about that. But it could, you know, it's really weird. So the head got cut clean off, and like, you know, it's very strange.
Because of this video, viewers think there might be a hidden cemetery on the property, which could explain the weird happenings in her home. Despite this theory, nothing Jay Barari has tried seems to stop the activity. She's used sage and even brought in a medium, but nothing works. The strange events keep happening. One incident was so disturbing that it made her think about moving out. Jay and her partner were in the house when they heard odd noises from a room. Here's what they found.
In there, in the wardrobe. It's in the wardrobe. I thought you were playing a prank on me, and Rylan wasn't with her, with our parents. I was like, what the fuck? There. Hello? Come on. Come on. Alright.
Could these odd events be linked to the cemetery on Jay Barari's property? Or is there another reason behind them? Like many other videos, this one doesn't provide clear answers. Similarly inconclusive is another video by Zoe Bruno. Zoe and her family, who live on a farm they suspect is haunted, have shared videos that lead viewers to think the farm is not only haunted, but also cursed. Recently, Zoe posted a video showing one of their pigs had birthed 2 piglets with severe deformities, and sadly, both were stillborn. This incident was unlike anything the family had ever encountered, and combined with other eerie events, they feel something very strange is going on at their farm. Then, one night, the creepiest incident yet was caught on camera. Zoe's sister was alone at home when she started hearing odd sounds from the pig stable. She started recording immediately, and this is what she captured.
Hola chicos, estoy grabando este video porque mi papá y mi mamá se fueron a comprar una cosa en el almacén y mi hermano Seban está en la pieza, pero yo sentí relojado por acá. No sé qué está pasando, pero quiero tratar de grabar. ¡Ah! Miren eso. ¡Ah! ¡Ah!
There is something there. I'm gonna stop this one. I've got another one more.
Yeah, poor thing. She seems really scared, but I don't know Spanish enough to figure out what she was saying. And that video she caught, even though it looked like something was there, I can't tell if it was like, I mean, it could be a rat. From what I could see, I mean, it could have been a face, but I couldn't see what was there. So
I couldn't either. Now let me make sure I got the caption. Now, I'm sharing this one here because this guy here I do follow, and I saw that his clip, and this is what one of our commenter said, check out December W says, check out Scary Camp. And so that video was
Scary
going,
cop.
I was like, all right, look. Let's see. So
And skeptical outlook. Gaz never backs down from a challenge, but tonight will push him to his limits. On the misty, windswept night of August 27, 2023, Gaz arrives in a dark, eerie forest, accompanied by his faithful dog, Fendi. As the dense fog weaves through the trees, he settles into his usual routine, setting up camp, lighting a fire, and preparing dinner. Equipped with his night vision and trail cameras, he hopes to spot some wildlife. However, what he captures is far more disturbing.
Right, it's 12 o'clock now, well 5 past. And note or C note as such, but I've got all the cameras rolling outside.
Once everything is in place, Gaz prepares for what he hopes will be a calm and quiet night, but that tranquility is swiftly broken.
Hello?
A haunting, cry-like sound echoes just beyond his tent. Gaz quickly scans the darkness with his flashlight, but sees nothing. For 10 long minutes, he listens in silence as the unsettling noise continues. Gathering his courage, he finally steps outside to explore the source.
Hello?
this is where I would think people should have voice.
Yeah, they try to pretend they're young
As he
children.
approaches,
People
the
will be
sound
like, sorry for them,
intensifies,
but
only to abruptly stop.
not
Whatever was
children.
making the noise appeared to have sensed Gaz's presence and fallen silent.
That sounded like a woman crying.
I thought it sounded like a baby or a child crying.
After searching for several minutes, Gaz comes up empty-handed, yet an eerie
I'd be
sense of
praying.
unease lingers. What if someone had actually needed help? Just as the tension begins to fade, another unsettling sound suddenly pierces the air.
Hello?
He calls out, but no reply comes. Who or what could be hiding in the shadows of this dense, dark forest? It isn't long before Gaz finally sees it.
I can still hear it. Absolutely bobbed me pants then. Oh wow. My pants then.
In the darkness, two glowing eyes fixate on him. Could this be the source of the unsettling noises? Feeling uneasy, Gaz rushes back to his camp and reviews the footage from his trail camera. What he uncovers is truly chilling.
Oh, that's creepy.
A shiver runs down Gaz's spine. Without hesitation, he hurriedly gathers his gear, eager to escape the forest as quickly as possible. Thankfully, both he and
Absolutely what I
Fendi
would
make it
do.
out safely. But one chilling question lingers. Could the glowing eyes belong to the same figure behind the eerie cries in the night? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The video comes from the YouTube channel Under the Weather, where the host documents his camping.
Now, I will share this. I remember us being out and hearing something like that, and it turned out to be a bobcat, and that's more scary to walk up on a bobcat than anything else. Especially, what my grandpa says, you know, it's better to try and pull teeth out of a bobcat. Oh, no way, not. And they're bigger than you think they are. They're not like the house cat. I don't know, red is kind of close. But have you ever
I don't
walked up
think I've
on any
ever.
wild animal?
I don't think I've seen a mountain lion in real life. I've seen them on television.
I saw a mountain lion when I lived in the mountains at a distance, and that was in the mountains of North Carolina, and that was closest as I ever want to be to one. They are huge. Have you ever
I
seen
assume
anything like
mountain
that here?
lion. Oh. Have you seen a mountain lion before, Hill?
Oh, no, ma'am, no, sir. Not in
I
real life,
assume.
at least.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, they're big. They're big. They are very, very big. You don't believe how big something is. Just like you see it, you take a double look and you're like, wait a second, my eyes playing tricks on me.
Although I've heard our area has, bobcats, bears, and even alligators in some parts. So
Yeah, I saw a black bear. Um, but it was actually we were on our way down South Carolina, and that Highway Patrol had everything stuck with a black bear.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
yeah, it was 85, wasn't it? Highway 85 we were on, and there was a black bear in the road. I was like, and the Highway Patrol was trying to figure out how to manage that and not let, because there was looked like a subdivision. It was like right over this fenced area, and if it got there and jumped over, it'd been in somebody's backyard. I was like, well, I've never seen them that close down here.
I think that was the first bear that I ever seen, and I was shocked how that he was on the highway.
Yeah, yeah. So, we have a mountain lion, which was crazy because the way my family's house where they lived was like right bumped up to a mountain, and so I was still in the Bronco when I saw it. I was sitting in the back seat. They had gone into the house and saw this thing coming down the side of the mountain, and I was like, at first I was like, that's a big cat, like kitty cat. At first you're thinking. And the more it came down, my cousin was in there, was like, oh my God, that's the mountain lion. He's older than I am. So, and he was familiar with the area. And it just walks right through, like it had it had no care in the world. And just walked right through the little, between the houses, and just kept on going with it through the mountain back of the trail. It was just going on. Yeah. That's the only time I ever seen one. But yeah, I had old Robbie was terrified. I was too, because it was so big. I don't know how these people go camping in places that they have not vetted. And that's what apparently a lot of these stories are.
Trips in different spots. In this episode, he set up his tent by a river at the foot of a mountain. As night fell, he attempted to sleep, but his rest was suddenly disturbed.
Good. Oh, that feels good. A bit too hot, but right. So I think I'm going to go to sleep. And unless something crazy happens, I will see you in the morning. Good night. Hello? 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 Now the thing is, I'm kind of on an island here, so there's river on that side, river on that side. It's very hard to get down here if it's a human, that is. Hello? Typical, now I can't hear a thing. I've got a knife in here. I've got a knife. I've got a knife.
What if he doesn't?
Right.
I'm hearing an animal. I'm
That
not hearing
definitely
a
sounded like
person.
somebody there. But there's no one here. Every time I come out, it's empty. Unless I come out the river, I don't even think. No, because as I said, I'm basically on an island, so there's no way that anyone could actually get it. Jesus Christ!
I've been throwing something at him.
Hello?
Yeah, I feel like
Hello?
Oh, if things get thrown at him, that's usually a Bigfoot, isn't it?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Unusual sounds
He was
outside
dead.
his tent woke him, and he heard what seemed like movement around his campsite. He stepped outside
Okay,
several
he was
times to
hearing
check,
movement.
but there was nothing to be found.
I heard that noise again. It sounds like somebody laughing outside, but it...
That sounds like what a big
I have no idea. Unless it's the Kelpies. Oh.
Kelpies are their fairies in Britain, I think.
Right, I might have to leave. But I can't leave, so I'm
I'll
stuck
check
here
and make
for the
sure
whole
I'm
night.
right.
If I don't make it, this is my last will and testament, right? You're the last person to see me alive. Yeah.
The host felt cornered, stranded in an isolated spot with no way to leave until morning. His fear grew as he realized escape wouldn't be easy. Though he managed to get through the night safely, he never figured out the source of the mysterious noise. Chris Baird is a paranormal explorer
pause it. I'll
known for
tell
his
you what a
adventures in
Kelpie is.
abandoned buildings.
All right.
So it says a Kelpie can refer to two different things. A mythical Scottish water spirit or a breed of Australian working dog. I don't think he's saying that he saw an Australian working dog. So apparently he's a Scottish water spirit. So maybe he's from Scotland.
Okay. Has your dog ever scared you in the middle of the night, Harold?
A while back, when I was still living at my grandfather's house, yeah.
Well, I was asking if your dog's ever scared you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah, he was saying the dog scared him while he was living with his grandpa.
Oh, our cats like to scare us half to death every night.
yeah, sitting there looking out the window and he's just barking and barking and barking and it's
Man. And they can see well too.
mm-hmm.
We had a deer that Nikki has rose bushes, which was not taken care of lately, but a deer would actually come and she would sleep next to the house. So we would hear these weird noises going on outside and thinking that it was somebody and trying to figure out and go out there with a flashlight. And you were going to work one morning, right, Nikki?
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah, 'cause you got up early when you used to teach. And I was still asleep. I hadn't got up yet. And Nikki's calling my phone like crazy. Say, you in the police? What's out here? Scared the mess out of me. And I was like, what's that? We have a deer. That noise we're hearing every night, every morning. It was a deer. I startled it. It startled me. Another weird animal event that we have. But Nikki, you want to share the story where you called me at work and said there were birds in the yard?
I don't remember that one. Tell me again.
Remember when the cow, you got home and you said, hey,
Oh yeah,
you remember now?
I do. I had come home from work. Derek had gone shopping or something, grocery shopping, and he wasn't home yet. Oh, were you okay? So I got home and parked the car at the top of the hill, and there was these giant birds, vultures in the yard. And I'm saying they were huge. They were probably like a 4-5 foot wingspan if they put out their wings. And there was like 12 of them. And I got home and I was like, oh my gosh, I called Derek. I was like, my parents weren't home. They lived beside me, but they weren't home either. I was like, Derek, there's these birds in the yard. And he was like, you'll be fine. He was like, go ahead and go in the house. And so I was like, no, they're huge. He was like, well, just honk your horn at them or something. So I did. I honked a little bit and I kind of like creeped around them. I didn't take a straight path to the door because there wasn't. So I like hugged the fence line and got in the house. And I was there watching TV. And then I got a phone call. And Derek was like, Dickie, there's birds in the yard. And I was like, yeah, I told you there was. He was like, no, they're big birds. I was like, yeah, I told you. They were. And he was like, what do I do? I was like, just honk your horn and sneak on in. And he was like, I didn't know they were that big. I was like, they were big. And we did find out later that our land was used to house my cousin's cows. Like he had a dairy, and so when they had been impregnated, they would come out here. And so when they would drop their calves, we would call them and tell them that there was a calf. And so they would come and get the calf and the mother. What had happened is the mother had passed away in the yard and the grass had got really tall because that's what they ate. But she had wandered off. I guess she didn't feel well or had a breech birth, I think. And so she had passed away and the birds were there to do what they do. And so they were vultures. And so that's what happened. But
she didn't tell me
it
it was
freaked us
like
out.
16, 17 vultures in the yard.
I think I was so surprised that I didn't tell you there was like 12, a whole bunch of them, But
You ever seen the movie Dark Crystal?
Mm-hmm.
They look like Xerxes, the vulture creatures hunting around and eggs bopping back and forth, and they were not terrified of humans. As soon as I got out of the car, they didn't fly away. They walked around me. They walked around. Nikki was like they did the same thing to us. So I always vet anytime that we used to go camping where we're going to go. And so these people here going camping without actually testing out the place, that's crazy. So
I don't know if I could do that.
yeah, so let's take a listen to this one.
And haunted forests. On February 15, 2024, he decided to check out Purgatory Road, a spot where many people have reported eerie paranormal activity.
Honda Accord, which I'm going to be sleeping inside of tonight. I literally have a blanket and some other goodies, but mostly just me in the car. That's it. So here's my thought process. I've been to Purgatory Road a couple of times. I've been here with CJ, I've been here with Dylan. We have a lot of crazy stuff happen. The woods is literally all around us. But I just want to see if anything comes through. I want to see where we're going with this tonight. So their Spirit Talker is on.
I think that's like a week before too.
Right away, Chris started hearing noises coming from the woods. It could have been a branch falling, or maybe someone else was out there.
Different voices in that right there.
Alexander.
Get a lot of names. I don't always buy into the names just because it's interesting that it's just, what do they mean, right? I don't know what these names are, who they are, what they were. What the?
Now, one thing I will say as we're going in, I think having these things that you can get these out to your phone, I think that's just like I think that's probably one of and I think that, that's the same thing as a Ouija board. It's just a electronic device. Maybe the other thing.
In a way, yeah. Because you don't know what exactly is talking on that other end.
Right? That's what I look at and think about too. It's like you don't know that's manipulating that. So anyone that's watching this wouldn't get one of those things on your phone.
That. The problem is that my car is that way. It could have easily been something like bird, animal.
Gertrude.
Could have been Gertrude. Gertrude, stop scaring me, please. That's too much. Why is that tree skimmed like that?
A moment later, he heard noises right nearby.
You'll have audio?
What was that? Alright. Oh. There's no way there's anyone out here. I cannot chalk that out to be an actual human. There's no way. But I don't know what that was. Truthfully. I swear I saw something move. Like a shadow in there.
He eventually fell asleep, but not long after, a knocking sound woke him up, leaving him startled.
Now that sounds like a human dog. I didn't hear the other thing, whatever it was, but I heard that.
It's like a person.
About an hour and a half later, something happened.
Well, now that's creepy. Somebody walks up in the middle of nowhere and they have a flashlight on you.
Yeah. It says roughly 20 minutes later, it says hopefully park ranger or police. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, if it was the police, I think they would have knocked on the door. What do y'all think?
I mean, that's.
I don't know if that's normal.
Plus, he's out in the middle of nowhere. That's perfect opportunity for some crazy person to just stab, stab, stab.
Yes.
Right. I got like Jason Voorhees show up. I'm like, no, thank you. Michael Myers. Oh, you see what time it is?
Mm-hmm.
You see what it says? The time is 3:33 a.m. Anyone that doesn't know, that's what's also known as the witching hour. So if somebody is doing stuff around this time, that usually means they're up to no good. Is that a red light that's been flashing on me?
What the f was that? What the f was that?
That's not like a rock hit the car.
Hello?
Yeah.
What the f?
That's what it was. That was
I mean, the three things he's
Was this merely a
experienced,
coincidence, or had Chris accidentally
What's that
discovered?
What'd you say?
I said the three things that he said. The first thing I couldn't quite hear what he was hearing. What was he hearing at the very beginning?
It sounded like crunching, like something was walking around him or hitting
Oh,
him.
okay. So you have crunching, and then the second thing is you have lights coming in the area, and then you hear like I thought it was a rock hitting the thing. I couldn't tell you what I would think that was. That sounds like a whole combination of I don't want to be there ever again, and that is the last time I'm going to that area at all.
I agree with Harold when he said you got somebody who's like nothing no good and stabby. Yeah, I agree with Harold on that one. That light shining in, that's creepy.
Something much darker lurking on Purgatory Road?
What is
You
this?
hear something on a game show when you get chasing it after?
Oh!
What was that, bro? Did you hear that?
Who? What was that?
Something in that tree. I don't know what
That
it was.
scared the crap
I
out
guess
of
it
me.
could have been a bird.
Whoop!
That's pretty.
Whoop!
That was good. That's probably what they do.
They make noises like that, right?
I always did it a little different, but I like that. I think oh, man, I just heard something. No, he is making sounds like he's trying to make sounds for Bigfoot. That's something that I learned when we were working on the Bigfoot book, that a lot of the Bigfoot researchers do that noise, and that's something that a Sasquatch will like.
So are they
That-
making that sound, or is somebody else making that sound?
That's what they said they heard on them.
Oh.
Let's see.
What were you gonna say, Harold?
That's like kind of puts me in the mind of the way people do around here. I mean, at random times you'll hear somebody go, "Yo, you," and it's like, even out in the middle of town, it's like, dude,
Really?
what are you doing? It's like,
That's weird.
yeah,
Yeah, I have to say, I've never heard anything like that in the woods.
yeah. I mean, I'm talking about this is like people in town will randomly do that sometimes. I guess if they're trying to get somebody's attention, and it's like, okay, what the crap is all that? You know?
That's
Oh,
weird.
wow.
I don't know whether that's just a
Local thing,
Lumbee.
or
Yeah, I don't know whether that's like a Lumbee thing or what, but you know,
that's interesting.
All through the.
no offense to any Lumbees that are. No offense to any Lumbees that are watching this.
No.
Maybe they can come on and explain to us.
Yeah, because
That'd be
I'm
great.
from here. I'm from here, and I don't get a lot of it. It's like, huh? Yeah.
Was that a rock?
They reported hearing a disturbing noise, and then something completely baffling occurred. A large stone suddenly flew at them out of nowhere. Fortunately, they weren't hurt because the stone struck the branches of a tree instead of hitting them. However, when you think about it, whoever or whatever threw that stone must have been incredibly strong and large, as throwing a rock that high up doesn't make sense for an ordinary person. It just didn't add up. Instead of walking away, they began running, trying to get as far from the area as possible.
Did you see the tree limb?
I missed it.
There's a tree limb, and let's see if I can get it.
To encounter something completely unexpected.
I'm
We're
trying to say-
boondocking. There's no electric, no water, no nothing.
Boondock.
We're in the middle of like pretty much nowhere.
No.
Been incredibly strong and large, as throwing
Okay, you see, it's going to be in this area, up in the top corner. I don't know if y'all can see my mouse.
Yeah, I can see your mouse. It's gonna be.
All right,
That's where
pay
it's gonna be.
Yeah, pay attention to that area.
a rock that high up doesn't make sense for an ordinary person. It just didn't add up. Instead of walking away, they began running, trying to get as far from the area as possible. But here's the chilling part. They claimed whatever was out there started chasing them and even threw things at them. That's when things took a darker turn. It wasn't just strange noises anymore.
Did you see it? The tree
It was
limb
like
bobbing up
curved?
and down. It starts moving up and down. I'll rewind it real quick.
I think.
Okay.
Man, I just heard
I'll be
something
right
fall
here.
through this. Hey.
Yep.
Yes. That was really high
They
up.
reported hearing a disturbing noise,
seen
and
the
then
rock
something
outside
completely
of it.
baffling occurred.
I
A
didn't see the
large
rock.
stone suddenly flew at them out of nowhere. Fortunately, they weren't hurt because the stone struck the branches of a tree instead of hitting them. However, when you think about it, whoever or whatever threw that stone must have been incredibly strong and large, as throwing a rock that high up doesn't make sense for an ordinary person. It just didn't add up. Instead of walking away, they began running, trying to get as far from the area as possible. But here's the chilling part. They claimed whatever was out there started chasing them and even threw things at them. That's when things took a darker turn. It wasn't just strange noises anymore. Something was actively trying to scare or harm them.
And man, it was so hard to see. I was dropping stuff. I dropped the camera. I hope it's okay. I haven't turned the light on good enough to inspect it, but so we went total lights out and just sat here in the dark. And
Oh my God, and there's like creek bed rocks.
so we just came from there.
thought for sure I was going to break my ankle on these rocks.
Oh, man.
I didn't. And then my lights started
That was
going
dangerous.
off. My lights started going off. I didn't have a light. I couldn't see where I was running to. That's why I had to stop and wait for you. No offense.
Man.
But I was going.
I was getting jacked up going over that beaver dam. Something smacked me in the face. I couldn't see nothing.
Man, I still can't breathe.
And I don't even know. Did you? Something was still. After we got over that beaver dam, I was still heard something come flying through, crash right behind us.
Yeah, that's why I was just running, bro. I wasn't even paying attention at that point. I was just going.
That was dangerous. I don't know. We got to get back to camp, but I don't even want to turn my.
I don't know what they're doing is dangerous.
That'll like reveal where we've been. We've been like just quiet listening. I haven't heard nothing.
What'd you say, Nikki? I didn't hear you.
I was like, what they're doing is dangerous.
But no, right?
Because boondocking, usually, like, he was saying, you go out to the woods and you don't bring electricity, you don't bring, anything. But the other thing that boondocking usually means is you're essentially squatting on somebody else's property. You don't know who it belongs to. You just like randomly pick a place. And normally that's fine. Nobody, as long as you're not messing up a whole lot of things. But that also means you're not familiar with the area. You don't know what kind of creatures are out there. It sounds like they got a Bigfoot.
Yeah, I definitely would like to take Harold and his wife to our little person that we've been to, where Bigfoot activity has been documented. I think y'all will get a kick out of it. But we, as the gift that was given to us, we have it's not a generator because it doesn't take gasoline. It's a
I call it a power station, but you essentially can use a solar panel to charge it. Or you can even just plug it up in your wall too, either one.
yeah.
So we got it in case our power goes out here, we would still have, something to create heat. We could plug up our heaters in it and stuff too.
That, that's something that we're wanting to do. This goes. It's better to go in the wintertime because you don't have to worry about snakes. We're wanting to go back. We do. We definitely have to invite you and your wife so you can come and see the beautiful. You're close to a town, but you go 400 feet, you're in wilderness of woods. It's the craziest thing. You got a Bojangles that's across the street, but you go 400 feet.
You can walk
in,
to the Bojangles.
Yeah, it's like complete woods, everything, and that's where when we were doing research about Bigfoot and looking into it, and it's where I had met something being there. So I relate to what these guys do because when we first said it, we didn't have any power or anything, and I had to make fire out of just what we had, and we only had a campfire that we had made to stay out there. And I told Nikki, I was like, I will never do that again. I got to have because it gets dark, like and need a headlamp and everything. So. That happens here. And yes, that's far. I hope you have a good week.
I swear,
Can't
I just
wait
heard like
for Halloween.
This man, get out. Let's go. Don't stop.
They eventually managed to escape the creepy location and return to their camper van. However, they were left wondering who or what could have thrown the stone. The behavior of whatever they encountered didn't seem human, but even if it was a person, it was hard to understand how they could have thrown a stone so high. It left them with a lot of unanswered questions and a creepy sense of unease about what they had just gone through. Picture yourself on a casual mountain biking trip, riding through the woods with a cool breeze against your face and nature in its most peaceful state. You feel alive and free. But what happens when that calm shifts to panic? This is Stefan, a popular Serbian YouTuber known for his entertaining, diverse content. Usually, Stefan captures fun, light moments from his everyday life, but today, things took a darker turn. He set out for a simple mountain biking adventure through the forest, as usual, with his camera rolling, documenting what seemed like just another peaceful day in nature. Little did he know, this would be a day he'd never forget. After stopping for a quick rest, Stefan noticed something unusual, a hole in the ground. Curious and perhaps a bit too bold, he decided to investigate, and then it happened.
Oh, that's that dude. I heard about this.
Dude. Bro. That's a bear.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
A bear stood in his way, blocking his only escape. That's when Stefan understood that this wasn't just an ordinary hole. He froze, his mind racing. Was this the end? The bear approached him, but suddenly stopped.
But if you're praying to Jesus, I'll tell you that right now. That bear can bite your head right now. You would be no.
When the bear took a few steps back, Stefan realized it was his chance. He carefully climbed out of the hole and rushed to his bike, heart pounding. He quickly pedaled away, leaving the hole and the bear behind, an experience he'd never forget.
The bear's chasing
On
him
January
now.
26, 2025, on a cold and misty evening, Gaz
Go ahead
set
and
off
pause
on
it for a
another
second.
adventure, this time heading to
Yeah,
a forest
yeah.
not far from his home.
Oh,
Well, the only thing I can think about that situation is that there's a possibility that since he was in his den, he started to take on some of the smell of the
smell.
bear.
Yes.
And so when he went out, the bear smelled him like, why do you smell like me? You
Yes.
know? Because that's the only thing I can think is he started to smell like the den itself. And since he had been out in the woods anyway, maybe he had like not taken on human smell. He started smelling the outdoors. That's all he got lucky.
I'll tell you right now, if he didn't know Jesus, that'd be the best moment to come to know him
Mhm.
in a huge way. Praying right there, the Lord. Uh, that is something I do not want to get close to nature with. Do not.
That's too
And
close.
I mean, I am a stickler about making sure that when we went camping, that that everybody knows what to look out for. Don't go around just picking up any rocks. There could be a snake. I was always a stickler on safety when we went camping. Nikki and my younger sister, who's 20 years younger than me, we went camping in a place called Moore Mountain, and I had told them, I said, look, don't feed the wildlife. Don't leave. We got to turn food and pie. Don't bring anything into the tent. I get woke up one morning. Nikki and my sister were panicked, but I told them not to make loud noises and just stay calm. And they woke me up, and we had deer all around us. And apparently, what I found out from the game warden is the problem that they were having is people was feeding the deer, feeding the wildlife, and so they were not afraid of humans. So they were coming up to Nikki and Anna, trying to get them to give food to them, and I had to get in and scare them off. But yeah. You don't do. You don't go and see a big old hole and go, I'm going to go inside that thing for a little bit and check it out. If I see a big hole like that, I'm like, okay, that usually means that's a den. And that means something is to study that out. Especially what's the weather like. You getting into fall. You know something's looking to make a dinner, or have their cubs or have their kittens, which like we talked about the mountain lion. Yeah. Um, and see when we were doing the thing with the Bigfoot, I didn't think it was possibly. There was a big on the mind. Yeah, possibly there could be something. Um, but boy, when I had my experience, it made me rethink everything I think about nature. No, because this was something that's intelligent enough to hide itself, intelligent enough to um, not only not be scared of you, but evade you to a point where it could be like right in front of you and you would never know it. Um, so yeah, these camping trips are crazy. So I think this will be our last one for tonight, but let's see what this is.
The forest had a dark and sinister history that had haunted locals for centuries. It was tied to the chilling legend of Lady Sybil, a tale that dates back to the 17th century. Legend has it that Lady Sybil sat on the berg rug in the forest, wishing to become a bird so she could fly and join the Pendle witches. One fateful day, the devil himself is said to have met her atop the rocky heights, offering her magical powers and the ability to shapeshift, but only under one terrifying condition. She would remain earthbound even after death. Lady Sybil accepted the devil's pact, and ever since, her restless spirit is said to haunt the forest, casting an eerie, sinister shadow over it. Intrigued by the legend, Gaz ventured into the misty woods, his flashlight cutting through the darkness, with Fendi trotting loyally beside him. Little did he know, he was about to walk straight into a nightmare.
Now, there's definitely a creepiness to this place. It's just a log. I thought someone was stood there then, but it's a downed tree with roots sticking up. Yeah, it's just magical, but very eerie.
As Gaz begins his live stream, he's already making his way through the misty, unsettling forest, and it's obvious that he's feeling uneasy. The dense fog and heavy atmosphere seem to weigh down on him, but true to his nature, Gaz doesn't hesitate. He presses on, venturing deeper into the woods to find the right spot for camping. After about 10 minutes of exploring, he finds a clearing that works. He shows his viewers the tent he'll be using, and starts setting it up before the forest is completely swallowed by darkness.
Right, I'm gonna get in my tent now and get set up for night. All right, mate.
As darkness sets in, Gaz heads into his tent just before the forest is enveloped in total blackness. He plans to relax and unwind in his tent before going to sleep, but his quiet evening is suddenly disturbed by eerie noises coming from deep within the forest.
That was a gunshot.
I don't feel like stopping here if this is going on.
Gaz sits quietly in his tent, straining to hear the eerie sounds settling around him. What makes it unsettling is that these weren't the usual rustling of animals or natural noises. It was clear that people were nearby. Given that he was in such a remote forest, with no civilization within a half-hour's distance, this realization made Gaz feel deeply uneasy. His instincts told him to stay on high alert, unsure of what those people's intentions might be. The sharp sound of gunshots rang out again, this time much closer. Gaz didn't hesitate. He knew he had to leave quickly. Unarmed and unable to defend himself against someone with such a powerful weapon, he understood the urgency of getting out of there.
And they're shooting at night. That don't make any sense.
Once Gaz checked the woods to ensure it was safe to move, he hurriedly started packing up his camp, careful to avoid any confrontation with whoever might be nearby.
Oh, I don't like this. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh, you should be up there, mate. Look, you can't see out in front of you, mate. I don't know where the path is. I thought this was the path, but obviously not. Come on, back up here, mate.
Trying to keep calm, Gaz started making his way back through the misty forest, looking for the exit. The dense fog, however, made it harder to find his way than he had anticipated. As he carefully moved forward, his mind raced, with every shadow and noise adding to his growing fear. He had no clue when or if he might encounter danger.
I don't want to be getting well, and I especially don't want to be running in to the landowner again, because he will not be happy that I'm back in here on the night.
Alright, so we will end there. So apparently he went and was staying on somebody else's land that he has already dealt with the landowner. I'm probably the one that's doing the shooting.
Why in the world? If okay, it's one thing to boondock on a piece of land you don't know who it belongs to, but if you've already camped there and you've already run into the landowner and he doesn't want you there, why are you back?
Wait, that
Oh my
that that puzzles me at death. So yeah. So here's all the wonderful stories for us to react to. Very interesting. Anybody got any final thoughts before we call it a night? Any one of the stories that stood out to you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that last one is something that I would be like, yeah, that's the whole thing about these people camping in areas that it's like, if you're not familiar with a place or you're not supposed to be on there in the first place, don't go camping. And if you're going to do with the paranormal, please don't use the Ouija boards. So that's going to be a whole another thing. So we are supposed to have 3-1 Atlas that's supposed to be getting close to us on the 30th and 31st. So everyone is saying that that is possibly aliens. So we might react to some UFO videos in our next one. So with that, thank you everybody. Anybody got anything they got planned for later this week? Or got anything they're going to do?
Other than finish the church slideshow, probably just do some horror themed games, videos to count down to Halloween.
Yeah, I need to get back on and see what because there's going to be a Halloween thing event that's going to be taking place in Fortnite, and then we got the Simpsons coming, and apparently, if you're on the bus, you're supposed to be able to see the UFO, the two aliens from
Kang and Kodos.
yeah. So yeah, so you're supposed to do that, and that season's coming next. I think we're all going to get Fortnite Simpson looking skin, so that should be interesting.
And I think that the whole this is what Derek told me, but he heard rumors that the whole thing is going to be animated, like instead of it looking realistic, all the trees and rivers and things, it's going to look like somebody drew it. Like it's
Mhm.
I heard cell shaded. I've also heard tune shaded.
Mhm.
Those things.
That was pretty cool. I did get the Mothman skin, and it definitely has a pink shaded like feel to it too, the way it shimmers. So with that, that is it. I don't think we have anything really planned, and we don't ever have trick or treaters, so we don't have to worry about any
Not where
kids
we
going
live.
out of the no. I don't have to,
Mhm.
we love they be like, oh, it's a creepy, scary place right there. We don't go to that place. So yeah,
You know, that's kind of related to people going camping where they don't know the people. You know,
and
used to you could back in the day, you would go to hit all the houses
all
because
that.
everybody was going to be nice. Now, forget it. You
Yeah,
know, you don't go to places you don't know.
with that,
At least
that's
I
it.
hope parents do that.
I agree. Thanks for everybody's comments. Saw some new faces and some more faces, and I appreciate y'all here. And with that, that is it. We'll see you on the next one. You guys.